It's Coach Dave coming back with another banger. Today we're talking about why service matters for your business and why service is the only thing that matters for your business in the long term. But before we get started, please subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell. I would really appreciate it. It's going to help me grow on this platform. Two, it's going to help me connect with you so that you can be notified when I drop new content so you can be first to know about this sensational content that I'm creating, giving to you so that you can grow and improve your business. Let's dive into it. Customer needs are everything. This slide could have easily said customer needs are the only thing. Why is that? A business cannot thrive without customers. Without customers, there is no business. If you're not generating revenue into the business, you don't have a business at all. You have a hobby or a charity, which is okay. It's just fine if that's what you want to do, but it's not a business. Excuse me. And without service, you have no customers. So the moment that you take your eye off of the ball and you stop focusing on your customer, their needs, what they want, what they need, how you can improve their experience, you've started the slow, painful death for your business. It may be a quick, painless death if your business is not of significant scale and magnitude. Well, let's look back in history and see when that has happened. Let's think about the Sears Roebuck Corporation. Once the mightiest corporation in all of the world, in all of America, for sure. Well, what were they great at? For many decades, they made accessible products, goods, services to the mass market in America, to the common man. They sent out catalogs and said, here's everything that you can possibly imagine and you can have it. We'll ship it to you. We'll make it easy. You can come to our store and you can pick it up tomorrow. And the more they focused on that and leaned into that and said, what are consumer trends looking like? What product, services, and ideas can we introduce into this tremendous market to serve them better? Well, as long as they stayed focused on that, they were winning. But then something very interesting happened to Sears Roebuck Corporation. It happens to many companies over time, is you start to play the financialization game, which is what can I get out of it? You're saying, how can I become more profitable through not focusing on service, through focusing on operational manipulation, through financial manipulation, through this scheme and that scheme that has nothing to do with the customer. Once your focus becomes detached from serving the customer and you're just focused on what you can get out of the deal, the end is near for you, for your business. Good service is simple. And in fact, it is stupid simple. So what do I mean by that? You focus on the customer, and I've developed a 4-step plan to help you serve your customer better. So let's dive into it. It won't take long because it's not that complicated. And I'm going to wrap it up with a good anecdote at the end that I think will really cover and accentuate what I'm attempting to describe. So number one, you have to offer a solution. So in order to offer a solution, it only requires one thing: that you've experienced a problem or you've seen someone experience a problem. And you're saying, based on my knowledge, my skills, my whatever, the resources available to me, I can craft a solution to address that problem. It's really simple. And the thing is, you don't have to be right. You just have to offer it. So you're saying, I'm walking through the store and I see that the people need to buy this. If they had this, it would be great. Or you're seeing something that they're buying and said, if it was changed in this way, that product, service, idea were changed in this way, you throw your secret sauce on it, it'll be better and people will appreciate that. It will make their lives better. If it's a group of people working closely together, it's probably a business or organization of some kind, and you're going to make that business or organization, its existence, better in some way. So after you've offered that solution to a problem, you're going to receive feedback from your customers. And that feedback is going to let you know something along this spectrum. We're just going to cover the ends of the spectrum so you get the idea. On one end of the spectrum is, I hate this, I don't want it, get rid of it. And that's not a failure. That's just the market telling you that either it's not needed, it's the wrong time, or you didn't present it in the right way. Okay, that's all that feedback is telling you. You need to receive that feedback, accept it for what it is. Don't get so emotionally attached to your solution that you offer that you forget that the solution is not to build up your ego. It's not what you can give out of it. It's how you can serve. How can you make the lives better of other people? How can you serve your intended customer in a way that's meaningful and impactful to them? So once you've received that feedback, you're going to analyze that feedback. You're going to say, if they hated it, maybe I should scrap it. Maybe I should tweak it. If they loved it, it may be tempting to rest on your laurels, but you don't want to do that either. What you want to do is, regardless, is refine your solution. And this is where business mastery comes into play. This is what separates the men from the boys, the amateurs from the professionals, is your ability to take a read, to receive feedback, regardless of the feedback, and use that feedback to refine your solution so that you're continually improving your level of service, your quantity of service, your magnitude of service, all of those indicators of service that imply that you're helping people better and that you're helping more people. That's what you got to do. That's the name of the game, because people are divinely discontent. That means that you can give someone a great solution and they're going to be really appreciative of it for a time. But after a short amount of time, they're going to appreciate it less. A little more time, they're going to appreciate it less. And eventually, they're not going to appreciate it at all. And they're going to be looking for the next new, better thing. The person, the company that's going to serve them better. Serving them better, even just providing novelty, something a little different and new. That is a way to serve, because it serves to alleviate that discontentment that we have. We're always looking for something different. And if it's different and better, you're cooking with something then. Then at the end of that, you repeat the cycle. So let's cover that again. I'm going to wrap this up in an anecdotal story so you'll kind of get what I'm talking about. So you're going to offer a solution to a problem. You're going to receive feedback. And you're going to analyze that feedback as neutrally as you can without assigning emotional value to it, because that's going to allow you to refine your offer. So whether the people hated it and you scrap the idea or tweak it or whatever you got to do, or they loved it, you're still going to use that feedback to refine your solution, and you're going to keep iterating through this cycle forever. And the moment you stop focusing on service with this approach, one of two things have happened. You've either grown complacent, which means that you've taken your eye off of the customer and you're focused on your own comfort and how the business can serve you, or you've completely changed your focus to how you can optimize outcomes for the business, which is not necessarily tied to what's in the best interest of serving the customer. So here's a story. We're going to use Apple Computer. So let's go back to the year 2000-ish. The year 2000. And if you were getting ready to take a trip, you had to go to the music store and you had to buy CDs, cassettes, 8 tracks if you're going back further, like in my parents' time. In their young times, I will say that. But the point being that it took effort. You had to curate this thing. It took all this additional time. So along comes the MP3 player. And you could take your CDs, you could put them onto your computer, transfer them from that physical format to a purely digital format, and you could download them to a device. And Apple came along and said, how can we increase the capacity and make the user experience so it's not just for tech nerds, it's for everybody. So what was born out of that? The iPod. And the iPod allowed you to take 20 CDs worth of music, which was plenty because most people didn't carry around more than 20 CDs at a time. You could put into a device that you could fit into your pocket or into a bag. And everyone was, whew, can't get any better than this. They were happy. I had an iPod. I was happy. However, with that feedback, Apple said, okay, this is great, but how can we give them more songs? So they increased the capacity of the device, even when they had great feedback. But they didn't stop there. They started adding more features, a camera. And then all of a sudden, people said, along this time, smartphones were being developed, Palm Pilots, PDAs, where you could type emails and text in a little business machine in your pocket. And they said, okay, why can we combine this kind of personal utility with this business utility? Boom, you get the iPhone. Now all of a sudden, you don't have to carry around so many small devices, which was still an improvement over having to carry around books, binders, paper, teams of people. Like you had your whole digital life in terms of information and files and music in your pocket. And now instead of 2, 3, 4 devices, it's in one device. But you don't stop there. So our need for data and convenience continued to evolve, to change. Our appetite for on-demand changed. We don't want to download all of this music. We don't want to buy every song. So then streaming was born. Apple Music released. Now you have access to virtually the entire world's catalog of music on demand. It's all about, and I'm not saying Apple invented any of these things or all of these things, but the point being is that they've executed very well. They've created an ecosystem for their users that says, we're going to provide the next thing that you need, high-powered apps. We're talking cloud computing. The App Store, it runs on the Apple Cloud. That allows you to say, here's all these applications that maybe it's fun, maybe it's business, maybe it's this or that. It's dating, it's social media, but it runs on this cloud platform that allows you to have access to all of these utilities from other people through this Apple ecosystem. Always stay one step ahead, making sure at the very baseline that they're meeting our needs, our desires, and meeting our expectations. But when you get into those higher mastery levels of business, that you're anticipating needs, you're innovating on behalf of the customer, which is just a simple way of saying you're staying focused on service. And it really boils down to the simple framework of offering a solution, getting some feedback about the solution, refining that solution, iterating back through that process. Well, if you've liked this video, please like it. If something resonated with you, drop a comment and let me know what it was. And if I've done a good job, please honor me with a follow, a subscription to this channel, and a ring of that notification bell so you'll be the first to be notified when I drop new content. Anyway, have a great day. Chat with you soon.